Welcome to another episode of The Daily High with Matt McGregor and Tone Vase. There is blood in the streets and Bitcoin is falling like a knife. Tone, what do you think, mate?
Man, I want to do a video on my channel yesterday, but that didn't work out. So you guys gonna have to catch me here. And will be a video later today with Ark Invest so we can talk about these ETFs. But yeah, the bleeding goes on. And we discussed this on the Financial Channel's Twitter Spaces yesterday with Joe Colasari. He thinks that the majority of this drop is due to just nobody left to buy. Like everyone had pre-run the Bitcoin ETF announcement. That's why we rallied so high into that 48,000, which I know I saw as a potential top on a sell the news event, and there was just nobody left. Everyone that wanted to get in got in. Even shitcoiners were getting in on the action, and they dropped out. And he thinks this is the main reason why the price is dropping, because people aren't like ready to buy back into the market. I think one of the main reasons why the market is dropping is because the incompetence of GBTC reigns its ugly head again, and they did not set up proper deals with potential OTC wholesalers of Bitcoin, even if they have to pay them a little bit of a premium, but buying that Bitcoin OTC so that you're not forced to go into the spot market and buy it on spot, thus completely creating volatility in the underlying price of Bitcoin. Now, I don't think GBTC expected this kind of a massive exodus to the tune of 20,000 Bitcoin per day. And I don't think they had set up these kinds of OTC deals. And I don't think they want to work with these other ETFs. And they're forced to sell on the spot, and therefore they're helping to drive the market lower. But we should probably go look at the charts. No reason to just listen to talk.
But before we do, Tone, we have to announce the winner of the trading competition. You've got your screen open right there. Yep. And you obviously won this trading competition, but I was also in a profitable trade. But because you used more leverage in the trade, what was your final P&L there?
So it's going to be easy. It's going to be 200 exactly. And I think my leverage was double yours. So I made 200 off of my $1,000 risk. I made 20%. That means you would have made 10%. 100. And we can end these trades.
Yep.
And we're going to adjust our P&L. I'm going to do that now. I'm going to adjust my P&L going into the next trade, starting with 1,200 in P&L, and we'll adjust the price at the end of the show.
While you do that, I'll go over to the board. Remember, with the new show, because I had a winning trade as well, I don't go down the rankings. I just stay in the same spot, and Tone moves up the ranking one space. So I'll adjust the board now. All right. I'm back. Sorry to cut your stream. Please go into the price of Bitcoin. I'm desperate to hear your thoughts, man.
We're good. And you know what? And this will show. This actually going to be a good exercise, right? Because now I'm starting the next trade with a higher starting capital. So if you and I happen to enter the same leverage trade and we're both right, I will still make more, right? So if we both keep making the right trades in the right direction from here on out, at the same leverage, it would be impossible for you to catch up. And the opposite on the way down. Had I lost more on this trade because of the first trade, it would be harder for me to catch up. So this is an example of why when a hedge fund loses 40 to 50% on a bad leverage trade, they usually just end operations because they know they can't come back from that. And they just pay back the investors.
And a really weird caveat to this competition now that we're counting P&L is, let's just say, for example, you win and get to the top of the board first, but I could do a Hail Mary at the end of the competition and do a 100x trade and actually get a higher P&L than you at the end of the competition. I think that's really funny too.
Yeah. Well, no, if you end up with a higher P&L, I can't win the competition. Even if I'm at the top of the lead, even if I make it to spot 10, I still need to have a higher P&L or I don't win.
There's a lot of moving parts to this competition.
Yeah, this thing can last the rest of the year. Okay, so I have great news for everyone. They're going to love this.
Tell me, what's it?
The MRI bottom is coming in absolutely perfectly if we crash one more time tomorrow in below 38,000. This is going to be the perfect buy the dip for me. I have everything aligning at around 37,000. We have the 128-day moving average. We have the MRI support line. And on this Thursday will be the MRI low candle, the potential, the MRI bottom candle. And if that candle happens to be even potentially resembling like a reversal candle with a little bit of positive volume, this could turn in to a candle like we had back at 20,000 back here, where the same exact thing was happening. You can see the monster crash right into the middle of this prior horizontal channel that I had marked on the chart right here. It also touched the 128-day moving average. It touched a beautiful round number of 20,000. And it was a reversal candle. So even though the volume is negative, on tone base volume, the volume was certainly positive. And this volume spike was the biggest volume spike Bitcoin had in probably all year. You have to go back. Yeah, since January 16th, and it came in March. So 2-month high in volume on a reversal candle at a moving average, actually at 2 moving averages. If I turn this 20 into the 200 moving average, I should probably bring the 200 average up. The 20 moving average is not all that relevant at the moment on a daily scale, though they are crossing right up there. So maybe I should bring the 200 back in, but that's okay. I'll do it later.
You've got the 200 there, Tone. The top of that green wave is the 200.
Oh, the top of the green wave is 200. Perfect. Yeah, they're not that far. Well, it's red wave now. Yep. And so everything is aligning right here at 37,000. We just need one more crash. So that is my biggest bright spot on the horizon. Now, when I move to the weekly chart, this is a bit of a double-edged sword. So I'll give you the good news followed by the bad news. The good news is we are on candle 3 of a 1 to 4 candle correction. This is my typical pullback zone off of an MRI top. And next week, there should be the bottoming candle, but it's up to 4 candles. So this could be the candle that marks the low. If we match the daily MRI low, then this will be the candle making a low, and hopefully we don't go lower next candle. We will slightly miss out on touching the moving average unless we really crash hard later this week, which I think is very possible. Also, there is its own MRI support line. There is a Fibonacci support. Everything, once again, is showing you support between 37 and 36,000. The bad news, however, is a red star candle. And you can see what happened the last time we had a red star candle. The market kept going down. The capitulation candle that crushed us was the 5th candle in the series. We're only on the 2nd candle of the series. There was no MRI top here to indicate you're only looking for a 1 to 4 candle correction. And we continued right into an MRI buy. I don't really want to see us continue into an MRI buy on the weekly scale, because if we do, then we are likely to come all the way down to the next set of moving averages, which is down in the $30,000 range. While a pullback all the way back to 30,000 is going to be also a clean pullback on a weekly chart scale. On a daily chart scale, it's going to be disastrous. We have beautiful support on the daily coming up later this week. And I don't want to see Bitcoin fall that low. I personally don't. It's okay. I will manage it. As you guys know, based on my positions, I'm 75% cash, waiting to get back in. I know the allocation chart, I only have 50, but in my account, I have 75% cash, not 50% cash. Someone asked what I did with the rest of my GBTC. My GBTC has already been converted into other ETFs. Mostly, I have a little bit of GBTC left. I have like 1,000 shares of GBTC left. It doesn't matter. They're all pegged to Bitcoin. I was just busy and lazy. It's the only reason why I haven't converted it yet. But all GBTC will be converted. I don't want to add to the bleeding of GBTC's Bitcoin. It's not helping anyone. People might as well stay in GBTC until this whole thing stabilized and started to rise. I got out early, and then I'm like, shit, I don't want to, like, my 1,000 shares are not going to make a dent. But anyone that's panic selling GBTC and converting it to another ETF are only doing themselves a monster disservice. They are probably forcing GBTC to sell the underlying Bitcoin on spot exchanges, dropping the overall price of Bitcoin. But this is why you have sophisticated investors and people. And unqualified investors, as they say. Okay. On that note, Matt, I'm going to hand it off to you. And let's see what you got. And did you alter any more of your positions?
We'll get back to the screen share for a sec.
Go.
Thanks, mate. I hope you enjoyed my presentation yesterday, and I hope that in time you'll see the power of my methodology. The fact is, the price is crashing, and I couldn't really care less. I took the profit on my long positions that I opened at 27, 200, 800, whatever it was, and I got out. I raised cash, made great profit. So I'm feeling really good over here. I don't want to say that because I understand that there's plenty of people watching right now who are freaking out. But I'm going to go back to screen share right now. And okay, yes. That's not it, is it? That's not it. Oh, yeah, that is it. Sorry, guys. Something happened to my computer today, and all my defaults reset.
See, I'm not the only one with tech issues all the time.
Yeah. I should know better. All right. So look, I'm going to start on the daily time frame. Okay. Everything you said, Tone, coming into your daily 9, I actually am watching the same space. Okay. I'm watching down here with your MRI support and resistance area at 36. I think that everybody's kind of watching this. In fact, tomorrow when we have the 8 and the bottoming pattern on the MRI here, we'll get a daily green diamond if we come down to this price as well. Okay. And as Tone mentioned in the previous, when he went back to this example, this fantastic example that he went to, it's very interesting for me as well, because when this crashed down, we also had a green diamond.
Hey,
okay.
Matt, I don't see your mouse.
This is why you got to tell me these things. All right.
I have to wait. I didn't know if you were moving it or not.
All right. How about now? Can you see my mouse? You see me moving the mouse?
No.
Really? You can't see that mouse moving? Sorry, guys. Jesus. Every night there's something else, right? All right. How about now? Can you see me moving the mouse now?
No.
No. What the All right. I mean, how about now? Can you see me moving the mouse now?
I don't
No?
think so. But it's okay. That's all right. We'll get it.
I've got to get this. You cannot see me moving the mouse.
No.
I'll try it one more time. All right. This has. What can it be? Can you see me moving the mouse now?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. I'll just start that really again, and I'll blow through it. So, Tone, when you said you thought the price was going to come down here to the support and resistance area down here, at about 36, I said we'll get a green diamond there on the daily time frame as well. But very interestingly, you pointed out this example back in time where we got the green diamond, the bottom on the MRI Everything was perfect. But you'll notice that the wave was different color. The wave is green for me, okay? So this was the absolute elite pullback coming out of a bearish consolidation that lasted bloody long time, that came in with the bottom prices and everything like that. We came out and we were bullish. This is your textbook buy the dip for me. That's textbook. But with this wave is red, this is no longer an interesting buy for me. I believe that we'll come down to 36 or something, and I believe we'll get a relief rally off there. But I don't see it going higher. I'm not interested in this buy. This is what I was trying to say. I am out of my positions, that the leverage positions that I was worried about. I'm still in those spot positions from way lower. I'm not worried about them. They can ride or die. I took the profit up here and I am out. Okay. This position here at a green diamond or an MRI bottom is not enough for me. I'm still going to sit this one out. If we come back up, the price comes back up and we regain strength and recapture these moving averages, absolutely, I'll be fully locked and loaded long again. But I need something more substantial. I would be going up the time frames. First of all, I would go through the scale. Daily time frame, green diamond, maybe a relief rally, not enough. I'd go to the 3-day time frame and do the same thing. Well, maybe it'd be 34, we'll get a green diamond here. Then that's something a little bit more significant for me down at the MRI support and resistance area down here at 34. That might be interesting for me. But ultimately, now that the wave is green, I have no option except to wait for a weekly green diamond to come back in, like it did back at the bottom, like it always comes in at the bottom. Now, I don't actually think that we're going to get that kind of pullback. And remember, it's time-based as well as it is price-based. It can take a long time to get that. We might get it only at 34, but it happens in weeks' time. I'm not interested in Bitcoin while it's falling. I would rather go play golf. I'm out. I'm not interested. Forget about it. And I love this. I love this. It doesn't make me freak out. But because really, ultimately, what I think is that we probably won't get another weekly green diamond unless GBT sells a shocking amount on the open market of Bitcoin. I think that we'll just meander. I think that we'll get stuck in consolidation. I'm not expecting a V-shaped recovery off a daily green diamond or an MRI bottom, and then we just come back up and we're off and away. I'm not expecting that. I think that this will take some time. It might take months. But by the time we finally get back up here and start breaking out again, my lucid stars will come down and I'll be fully locked and loaded to the upside. But I'm just not interested in trying to chase small gains. That's where I see the market right now.
Yeah, so that's going to be interesting going into, the end of the week, where if we get that MRI, buy situation with a little bit of strength, I'm going to have bullish trades on, and we will see what happens at that moment.
Well, I mean, interestingly, I agree that will trigger some kind of reaction. I think I agree totally, but will it be snuffed out? Is it enough for me to put real money on the table? I could do a mock trade with you, but could I put real money on it? Tone, what do you think next, mate?
Yeah, let's go take a look at some of these Bitcoin miners and Bitcoin ETFs. Maybe we'll go through some shitcoins. Today is, are we calling it Shitcoin Tuesday or Altcoin Tuesday?
I like Shitcoin Tuesday, don't you?
Oh, no, wait, that's the MRI. Okay, I have to point out to bar charts that they don't know how to do percentages. Check out the Twitter handle from the Financial Summit about that. So, look, a lot of people are asking, what about the discount or premium on GBTC? GBTC is trading at a very minor discount, And because they're trading at a very minor discount, they're constantly selling the underlying Bitcoin. So they will always trade at a minor discount. There is no more premium and discount with GBTC. GBTC has no more, they're an ETF now. So when there is a discount, they sell the underlying Bitcoin. When there is a premium, they buy the underlying Bitcoin that same day. So the discount and premium on GBTC is going to be within 1 to 2% in both directions, but it only tends to be in the direction to the downside because it's bleeding out Bitcoin as everyone is selling GBTC and entering other proxies. Now we got to look at Bitfarms. Bitfarms is going to be down again today. It's only down to $2. Okay, so Bitfarms has actually done fairly well. Yes, it's down from say 3 something down to 2, so it is down 33%. But on the upside, this thing can go up 50-60%. So I think it's weathered the storm fairly nicely, considering yesterday was a bloodbath in Bitcoin, and you can see how yesterday's candle in Bitfarms is actually bullish in light of the fact that Bitcoin fell so much yesterday. We can just grab any of the ETFs. We can look at IBIT, and you can see how it fell like 3-4% on yesterday's candle. Actually, that's it, just 3%. Wow, surprising. Thought it would have fallen more than 3%. And you can look at Bitfarms yesterday, and it was up. Why isn't it not calculating? It was up 9 cents. I don't know why it's not calculating. It was up 9 cents on $2, which is 5%. So just under, it's like 4.5%. So that is, so that's an interesting development going on. Someone also asked for Mara. We can take a look at the Bitcoin mining stocks. Mara should be on the list somewhere. Mara was up as well. So Bitcoin miners are weathering the storm. So there was initial sell-off in the miners for people that wanted a proxy to the ETF. And I think that sell-off has stopped. So this could be a lead that maybe the big slide in Bitcoin is coming to an end, which again seems to line up with the MRI coming in on Thursday. But if the low happens tomorrow, that would also be absolutely perfect. Even if the low happens today, having a low today is not ideal, but a low on tomorrow's candle, starting with tomorrow's candle, Thursdays or Fridays, would create that perfect MRI buy opportunity. Okay, want to look at altcoins, or you have any comments on the miners?
No, I think it's very interesting that you point out that the possibility of it being a leading indicator here. That's something I hadn't considered. I like that. But yeah, we could absolutely have a look at some altcoins. Do you want to run through some altcoins that you've got on your little chart there and have a look at them as with a BTC parent?
Yeah, so it actually makes no sense to look at the altcoins at the moment in dollar terms, because if Bitcoin is crashing, everything is crashing. You're not going to see anything green in dollar terms. But in Bitcoin terms, this could be very interesting because we know that these altcoins were doing very, very poorly as they were leading into the ETF. You can see that Ethereum fell big time and made new, I'm going to go to the weekly chart. It made a new 2-year low on versus Bitcoin on the day of the ETF announcement, which was right there at the low. Now I'm going to go back to the daily chart. So what that meant to me was everyone was in the Bitcoin trade before the ETF was announced. Once the ETF was announced, the altcoiners took their profit and went back into their shitcoins. And you watched this massive rise in Ethereum since the launch of the ETF on January 10th. It even started one day earlier on January 9th, just like I got out of GBTC on January 9th. The Ethereum Bitcoin speculators got out of Bitcoin and went back into Ethereum on January 9th, the day before the ETF. And you watch this rally the first several days of the Bitcoin ETFs. But look what's happening now. Bitcoin is crashing big, but Ethereum is crashing more. This is very, very telling right here to me. Ethereum, even yesterday, was still making a new swing high. And then whatever happened here in the last, I guess, 36 hours has completely crushed Ethereum. And this, to me, is the typical pattern where when Bitcoin drops, altcoins drop more. When Bitcoin rises, altcoins rise more. But because they dropped more on the way down, this goes back to my hedge fund example from earlier in the day. It's very hard to recover from major percent drops. And that's why these altcoins on a long-term time scale are never able to break their prior all-time highs because they've gone down too far. So even if they outperform Bitcoin in Bitcoin's bull market, they're not outperforming it threefold or fourfold. And that's why they're not able to make it back to their prior swing highs. But on the downside, they go 10, 20% further down versus Bitcoin. And that makes a world of difference. Because if they go down an extra 10, 20%, they now need like an extra doubling to get back to the highs. And they can't make that extra doubling on the way up. So this is the natural order of things. When Bitcoin drops, altcoins drop more. So this might have been it. We're going to just run through them real quick. You can see everything is dropping in the last 3 days harder than Bitcoin. So there is no safety in altcoins. Monero is actually a perfect example of this. Monero was hitting like all-time lows. Well, maybe not all-time lows, but looks like an 8-year low against Bitcoin. Look at this massive rally as of the ETF. Monero is not dropping yet like Ethereum is the last couple of days, but it looks to me like Monero has reached a very critical level of resistance right here off of a monster oversold condition. I should have the MRI and alphanumerics up. Let me see here. Well, there is no MRI buy indication at the low on the daily. There was a green diamond. For green diamond probably came in earlier, but for me, I need the reversal version of the green diamond. And we did have an MRI top just a few days ago, and we'll see. Monero is actually holding up strong, but I think this resistance will do it in. Litecoin also down the last couple of days. Litecoin was at new all-time lows. You could have timed this low with an MRI, with the green diamond, with the reversal candle. Probably very positive tone-based volume here. Positive enough. Actually, very strange that... Wait, am I not matching up the candles right? Very strange that the tone-based volume would be negative. That... Sorry, guys, had to sneeze, wanted to mute. This is why tone-based volume hasn't been released publicly. This might be a bug. I would need to investigate that. I have to make a note. There's absolutely no reason why this should be a red volume spike. I don't understand. That has to be a bug in the code. So I will look at that before. I have to remember, I have to make a note. I'm actually going to take a screenshot. So I make a note to self. I'm a man.
Just while you're doing that, I'll just say something for a second. I will always use Bitcoin as the canary in the coal mine when I'm looking at these altcoins. So even though I like to look at the altcoins on the USDT pairing, when Bitcoin's wave turns green and my bias has changed to bearish for Bitcoin, some of the altcoins haven't had their crash yet, especially ones that had stupid run-ups, 1,000% run-up. When Bitcoin has tilted bearish, the word hasn't got through to the shit coins yet, and that's when I would be looking to short a lot of this trash. So this is what you're looking at here. So that way, so I don't care about these daily green diamonds on this junk. I mean, the wave's been red for a way too long, which means Bitcoin's been outperforming it, and it doesn't look like it's changing anytime soon here.
Right, here is Binance. Binance has actually gone and broke this area of resistance. Let's see how much more oomph it has. It's actually performing well. Cardano with its gazillion coins hit an MRI top and reversed several days earlier. Let's see. I think this is going to head to new lows, but you never know. Solana has been performing really well. It topped out 5 days ago. No, sorry, that's a week's. My bad. I have to go to days. Oh, beautiful MRI top right here. Broke the MRI support line. Well, it will break it today. See how this has gone way beyond the 1 to 4 candle correction? So at this point, I am expecting this to keep going lower and then into an MRI buy opportunity. It is very close to its prior swing low. So Solana is not looking good. It does have support, however, right there at that blue line. So versus Bitcoin, that is about 12% lower from now. All right, I have a lot here. Anything specific you want to hit? I don't know if I want to go through all of them. Again, everything is starting to pull back. This seems like the normal order of things. I think everything is coming back to like it was. I think sometime next week, everything is going to settle down. I think the mass bleeding of GBTC is going to stop. People are going to enter in. People are going to start to think rationally. I am actually very, very bullish for a Bitcoin low later this week.
Man, that's a huge statement, and that's something that really excites me. That I mean, you got the top, you called the top, and I was late to the top, and now I'm out, and you're looking to get back in really quick. This is really interesting stuff. I can't wait to see the later in the week. We're only a couple of days away now from seeing where that bottom comes in on the MRI, and that really excites me. Why don't we just jump over and have a look at some of these shit coins with the USDT pairing to try and get some more. Like if you're trading on, one of the exchanges that we support, you can see some pretty good little shorts coming up here, especially if Bitcoin has a continuation pattern.
Whoa, it's not no liquidity. Yeah, let me just go through these real quick. I want to see if there's anything interesting to comment on. Probably not.
No.
No, not really. Yeah, versus the dollar. So versus the dollar, Ethereum is right at the bottom of the channel. And that could potentially be support for Ethereum versus the dollar. But right now, I am also looking at an MRI buy, so it's in line with Bitcoin's. That's going to show up on Thursday. You have the MRI support line there as well. Not sure what the moving averages look like. Actually, I'm not even sure what these moving averages are.
So just go into the alphanumeric settings and change it from weekly to sorry, from monthly to weekly. When I'm looking at shit coins, I need something more. You see that month? Change it to weekly on the yep, beautiful. Because we need to see something with a bit more activity.
Any comments?
Yeah, I mean, just looking at that, it's still because if you look at it on the USDT pairing, it has done really well, and actually structurally, it actually still looks in a better health than Bitcoin does, to be honest. If you're just looking at the USDT pairing, but I would suggest that if we break that line, that wave will flip, and it doesn't look good at all. If you've been in since the wave turned green on the USDT pairing, I'd be clearing out of it. I'd be clearing out.
All right, do you care about Monero versus the dollar?
No, I mean, no, I don't care about any of these projects, but I mean, like, some of them are chartable, that's for sure. Can I have screen share back for a second? I'll show you what I've been looking at.
You know, Litecoin versus the dollar. Look at the beautiful rejections of the, what I'm guessing is the 200-day moving average. Let me double check that.
That'll be the
Yeah,
50.
the 200-day moving average right there in the yellow. And there was a beautiful MRI top and a reversal candle and another reversal candle and another reversal candle. What a beautiful shorting opportunities right at the moving average. This is as textbook as it gets. And now we're sitting right at support. And that support is on the verge of breaking. So it looks very, very bad for Litecoin versus the dollar, even though it's still inside a green wave, which is very surprising to me.
Well, yes, because you're comparing it again to Bitcoin, but like if
No,
you
no, no.
see,
This is dollar. This is dollar.
Oh, this is the dollar. All right, sorry, excuse me. Yeah, this it looks terrible. It looks terrible. And that's what I was trying to make the point. Once Bitcoin for me turns bearish, I'll then turn my attention to altcoin to see, well, what has gone up 1,000% and what looks like it's going to be follow the trend because they're all correlated. They can be correlated to the extreme, correlated upside to the extreme, correlated downside to the extreme. But that's the point I make. When Bitcoin goes bearish for me, I think it's a great opportunity if they haven't realized it yet.
Someone is asking in the live chat about thoughts on Mt. Gox distribution. So my thoughts on Mt. Gox distribution are the same as my thoughts on SEC creating a Bitcoin ETF. I spent about 8 years saying that the SEC is not going to approve a Bitcoin ETF, and I was right for 8 years, and eventually I was going to be wrong. I have been also saying for 8 years that the Mt. Gox distribution is never going to happen until there's one person left and everyone else has died of old age. So I'm going to stick to my prediction that has been correct because people have been asking me this for 8 years, the imminent Mt. Gox distribution. And I'm going to say once again, they are waiting for every creditor of Mt. Gox to die of old age before they say that there is some kind of distribution coming. So I'm going to assume it's not going to happen for the 550th time. And when it does, I will act surprised.
Well, you'd be right at one point. I mean, you've been right
I'll
the
be
whole
wrong
time,
eventually,
and
right?
wrong eventually,
I'll be
right?
wrong
Yeah,
eventually, yes.
yeah, awesome. Well,
I, I'd
I'm
rather I'd rather I'd rather be wrong eventually than right eventually.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I've been both in my time, so. All right, awesome, Tone. I reckon we just put our trade on for tomorrow. Keep this show short and sharp. Is there anything else you want to look at?
I do want to glance at the S&P
Yes.
because that's gold. Gold's not going anywhere. S&P is once again breaking to new highs. I believe S&P is almost at an all-time high, as been predicted by me forever, and we are. The S&P has broken out to an all-time high. No one should be surprised. The only surprise should be that we did not even go down for 1 to 4 candles. We literally went down for 1 candle after the MRI top, and the S&P is rallying. I've been saying the S&P is going to be a monster this year, and it has been a monster this year. Bitcoin is not very correlated to the S&P right now, but again, I've been bullish on the S&P. It was incredible that the S&P took a whole 2 years to break to a new all-time high, but we are here, and I think the rally is going to keep coming and coming.
Yeah, I agree. Do you think we'll get above that midpoint
Yeah.
soon, or do you think we'll reject? Do you think we'll blow straight through it
I think we're gonna
of your
blow
channel?
through it, man.
Yeah,
I'm so bullish on stocks. I think we're gonna get to the top of the range again. I think
yeah,
by the
I think
time,
so.
I just think this is gonna be one of great years for the S&P, and no one's gonna understand why. Everyone's gonna be confused. Like jobs are gonna be firing people left and right, and everyone's gonna be so confused. How is everyone getting fired? How is no one able to afford food? And why are companies' stocks are so profitable? And the answer is, welcome to an AI world. You're getting replaced.
And you said it beautifully in the Twitter spaces that you did on the financial summit that people and businesses and institutional investors are using the S&P 500 as a flight to safety, as a store of value. And that's exactly what is happening in a disgusting marketplace overall. In a bad economy, the S&P becomes a flight to safety. Please
Yeah,
listen to
guys.
the Financial Summit's Twitter spaces. It was
Yeah, we did
fantastic.
a Twitter Spaces yesterday with Joe Colasari. It's going to be up on YouTube, hopefully later today, but you can listen to it in Twitter Spaces right there. It was a really great space. We talked about everything from the ETFs to the price of Bitcoin to bond yields and the economy itself. It was an awesome space, about an hour and 25 minutes. You can listen to it on 2X. And please follow us on Twitter and Instagram. And you can pre-register for the Financial Summit in the beautiful Maldives, coming to you in March of 2025.
Yeah, well put,
All
mate.
right,
All right.
we're good?
We
Trade.
trading? We
Jump in
live?
the
We
trade on.
trading?
We're trading.
All right, I'll go first. I'll go first.
All right. You go
You
first.
got
I'm gonna drop screen share, but I'm gonna
all
enter
right,
my parameters
all right, all
now
right.
so that
Just
I'm
tell
not
me
weighted by
tell
you.
tell me if you see my screen. Can you see my
All right.
screen? My mouse moving? Are we doing this
I'm not
again?
looking at your screen. I just want to put my, I'm deciding on my leverage and I'm deciding on my position. This is really, really hard.
It
It's
is.
really, really hard. Um, hey, let me ask you something. There's
Yeah.
a difference between a leverage of 0 and a leverage of 1, or there isn't in float?
Yeah. Well, I mean, a leverage of 0 is you have to do it at 1. You have to do it at 1
Okay, there
to
is no
be, yeah,
0. It's just
no
1 is
0.
the lowest number.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Okay.
right.
Okay,
That's
yeah,
right.
that's what I wanted to check on. Okay.
Okay. So
I'm not gonna do
30,
1, but I'm curious. Okay. Um,
38, we'll do 38, 9, 35. Okay.
38, 9, 35.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and your starting capital is 1100, right? Mine's 1200.
Thank you. Oh, yep. That's right.
Okay.
I,
All right, now I have
uh,
to look at your screen share. Okay, what do you got?
all right. Can you see my screen share?
I
Is it
can.
working? You
Yeah.
can? All
Yeah.
right. So 1100, 38, 9, 35, 3x leverage short.
Oh, wow. Okay. Interesting. So, here's
You've
mine.
you've got screen share back.
1200, 38, 935 short leverage is 2. So you are
Great.
at a slightly higher leverage. So you can win
Mm.
if we're both in the right direction. We could
Well,
also be. I'm just
if we
not
draw if
confident. The fall already happened, and it happened this morning. So I'm not that confident that we're not gonna like bounce the rest of the day because we fell after hours.
I agree. I agree. That's why I'm only
But
3x leverage, but I need to catch up here. I'm
But
chasing
the
tail.
move is to short the market because of like the MRI still has room to the downside. And I think the low is going to come tomorrow or the next day. And I'm still waiting. I mean, we touched 38 and change, but I need it closer to 38 for my buy the dip. If we come down to say 38,200, that would meet the criteria of me being in the 36 to 38 zone. Ideally, we fall as low as 37. That would meet it perfectly. All right, so here are the trades, and we take it from here.
Fantastic. Please give back the screen share for a second, mate. Guys, if you want to support the show, please use the links in the description for the black box links, the affiliate links we have. We've got the black box trading bot, which is currently supported on BitGet. We're in the process of bringing it over to 2bit right now. We're going to have new bots coming in the future. Black box team is going to be building up the MRI bot in the future as well. They're completely free bots. And you can see right now we got out of that trade, fantastic profit. The bot's currently 6% up already on the downside. She's been a winner. And the new fire bot that we're building is going to be even more frequent and really great. The bot's free. We don't charge subscriptions, completely free to the
Yeah, but hey
users.
guys, but we haven't done a video to explain it yet, right? So
Yep.
next week, we're gonna schedule with Matt for next week. So Matt can like spend an entire episode explaining what the bot is and how it works. May want to hold off a little bit
Yeah, I
till
mean
we do a proper show to
you can
explain it.
you can absolutely, thanks, Tim. You can absolutely sign up with the links now in preparation down below. But we'll formally be bringing it to you soon in the next week or two. But you'll only have those links are the only way you'll have access to the bot. So I hope that if you want to follow it, you're welcome to do so. Thank you so much, Tone, for joining me again tonight. We'll see you the same time, same place tomorrow. Let's hope Bitcoin holds up and I win the
Awesome.
competition.